So the guy that was on with Lex Friedman the other day that I was listening to yesterday, that I was getting so aggravated about listening to because most of what he says, I can prove that he's wrong about it. The whole physics, the math, just get rid of it. Start over again with it. 1 through 9 math, and do it that way. But he did have some things that I was interested in, so I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna give him another shot. That particular guy, I don't remember his name. He's a physicist and he had a bunch of other titles under him. So, but the thing that I thought was very interesting with him was the consciousness controlling the brain, the consciousness growing the brain, that kind of thing. Because it does go along with what I've been trying to explain is that the memory capsule is all it is. It's a brain. The brain is a memory capsule. So in other words, false memory can be implanted. You know, you put enough programmers around all these brains, and they're just soaking it all up. They don't have any will to think on their own, is the way I describe it. And it's true. It's not an exaggeration. So anyways, I gotta do some running around and I'll shoot the shit about it, I guess, as I go. Because what he's talking about there, with the consciousness, growing the brain, is how he described it, I believe. Is the same thing I'm telling you. We're surrounded by this energy. It's the true creator's energy. Yes, we are bio creatures built by the false creator, or our bio lives given feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast, all given life by the false creator's build, the false creator / creator. I like to refer to it as him, her, it, whatever. Okay, so the true creator's energy that's all around us, our neurological system connects to it. See, and when I tell you to look in at your own human skin to see the builders work, and understand the builders that are all around us, true creators, builders, all provable, 100%. No guessing. No, science will leave it open for science to learn more. Yeah, you can learn more, no doubt about it. Just like I'll learn more. But as far as these facts go, these simple fucking facts that we can see for ourselves, then you don't need to go any further. Just go look at those. Then there's all kinds of other shit, of course, to learn that will branch off of these things. But we first have to be honest about what it is, who the true creator is, be able to show our true appreciation for it all that kind of thing. I'll be right back. Yeah, so anyways, back to this dude. I'm wondering, I'll find out more over the next couple of weeks. So I'm going back and I'll do some videos listening to him, and I'll find his podcast instead of doing the series to Lex. Maybe I'll do it to this guy. I'm wondering if because everybody's using different terminology to describe the same thing, because I've been noticing that. There were some guys on Electric Flat Earth that when I was doing the Harold Cott series, and the guys from Electric Flat Earth were describing the builders as they didn't describe them as triangular, they just described them as electrical builders. And what the hell did they call them now? Let me think about that one for a minute. I got a lot of shit on my mind. It'll come to me. But anyways, he was describing it as that. Then you got this guy, electrolytes they were calling them. Then you got this guy on the Lex podcast talking about the consciousness leading the brain, the consciousness directing the brain. And that's the same thing that I've been saying. I'm just saying it in a different way because I can see it. So I can see that the builders are triangular shaped. Why they're triangular shaped? I don't fucking know. Who cares? Maybe some people that have come along have said that they're probably triangular shaped because triangles go into every other shape. You can't get any other, there's no other shape that triangulars go into every shape. Circles, you can make a pie out of circles and keep pieing it out until you get all triangles, right? You can do triangles obviously in a square or a rectangle obviously, and you can get triangles into it. And that may be a conscious way for humans to think about it. It makes sense. So I'll go along with that, I don't have any argument with that. I don't see any reason to argue with that. But at least go look at the fucking builders. See them, they're all around us. So when I try to describe it over the years, I described it as when you're looking into the trees, look at the air around the trees is the best way I can describe to you what I'm trying to get you to see. You'll extract the imagery, the feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. You'll extract them from the visual of the tree easily. It's easy. Add a little contrast, like I'm doing right now with the camera. That's what I'm doing for you. That's why I'm watching my videos back and I'm like dumbfounded. I'm like, this is unfucking believable. I mean, the images are so crystal clear. I mean, unless you think that it's like some CGI shit going on or something, did anybody come into my videos? I don't understand it. I don't get it. Why would you not, say, you guys got to see this. You got to see what this guy's showing. And you know what? To do you one better, I went and I imitated what he's doing with his camera. And look, these are my videos. Look, same shit. Feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. See the builders everywhere? Can you fucking see them? Yeah. Yeah, mama. Yeah, papa. But no one does that. Everyone just fucking ignores it or argues with me that I'm wrong or because I'm ranking out one of their heroes, which is really, I can't help that either. Can't help it. Number one, that's the way I call people out. Number two, it is very aggravating to listen to everybody's fucking lies. Because, you know what the most aggravating thing about listening to everyone's lies is that most people, 7.8 billion, just go along with them for no other reason than themselves being fucking liars. They just all want to be part of all the lies. You can show them reality, show them truth. And I'm talking about anybody, man. Everyone. It's the fucking way it is. So I got no radio and my batteries are dead on my little recorder thing, so I got no tunes or nothing, so I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud, I guess. So anyway, yeah, so there is some common threads. I mean, talking about a 2.5 hour conversation those guys had yesterday. I only got through maybe an hour and a half or something on my videos of it because I have to keep pausing to say no, it's all wrong. And then these are people that are highly looked up to. I mean, they're educated, they're highly looked up to. So what is some asshole idiot like me gonna do? So I'm supposed to bow down to that and not say anything and not talk about what we just see for ourselves? If it wasn't so fucking easy to see, then all right, fine. I got to shut up. I have no choice. If it was all in my imagination that we could see it all, and it's not just me. We can all see it, and I've tested everybody on seeing it. So, there's no fucking way, man. I mean, thousands of people I've showed this to, and they see it. Then they run. They fucking run from it. They run back to the space aliens, all the other religions, Matrix, holograms, physics, you name it. All the religions, put it that way, because that's what they all are. And then physics is supposedly part of science, and it's not considered. No, physics is a branch off of philosophy, is what it seems to be to me. Nothing has to be actually provable. Those are some of the things that the dude was mentioning too that I'll bitch about. He keeps comparing everything to gravity as gravity is it. No, it's gravity's a fucking just like I'm telling you about the wind. These are all products of the electromagnetic current. These are effects of the electromagnetic current that is all around us. The false creator built this system, this biosystem for us. And in it, it's very electrical. Very electrical. It's mostly electrical. We, the humans, have been fucking it up and bringing it further and further bio than it was ever intended. It was never intended to go this far bio. Not by the true creator, not by the false creator, and not by the creator. You can see these things. This is not just, like I've been saying from the beginning, I try not to step into things that I can't actually see. That's why I was saying in yesterday's video too about the sound. The sound is coming into play for me now. Because I was looking for a way of control. How are you controlling the carbons? So this energy, how do humans control these carbons on a human scale? Well, we know they dumped the mineral streets out of the jets today. So then when I was looking back in history, I'm saying in my earlier videos that I kept getting cut off because there was kids around and shit. If I don't cut myself off like I'm doing right now. Okay, so when you look back in history on these things and you try to think, okay, so how did we control things then? If this guy, asshole Mike Oziak, is saying that humans have been controlling it for thousands of years. Well, we've only had an industrial revolution, a couple hundred years old, I think 400 now or something. So, so in other words, the churches, I was talking about sound resonance in the churches, that kind of thing. So I'm looking for a way and an answer of earlier times that we put the carbons up in the air in another way that was not related to jets that we have now. Is called a geoengineering program, and it's all conspiracy crap. It really is. It's all gone conspiracy. CIA owns it. They came out and called it chemtrails, and then everybody picked up on that, and then now they can go 5 different directions with these things that I call mineral streets, and they're dumping the heavy metals and minerals in their atmosphere to control what you call weather. And weather, we're told, is natural and by nature and all this kind of shit. No, it's not. It never was. It never was. The only way I can look back in history and find that the false creator/creator intended to put the carbons up into the atmosphere might have been natural fires, but the main way was all the minerals, the heavy metals and minerals that are deep underground, that before humans brought in tree life that goes down 100 feet deep, or even deeper sometimes, spreads out as far as you can see, as far as the trees go, to suck up the heavy metals and minerals. So there had to be another way. How did the false creator/creator, is my question to myself, how did they get the carbons up into the atmosphere before that? Before all this other things happen, right? Like the bio realm. So in other words, there's only feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. And human, if there's no trees around, humans obviously did not have fire. If there was nothing like that going on, then so we're not eating the other animals, obviously, at that time. How far bio were we? How electrical were we compared to today, right? All right, so some of those answers would come in the form of a volcano. So if the false creator/creator wanted to put the carbons up into the atmosphere, now their total intention was to copy the true creator's work: feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. And when they kept dividing, you can see when you look at the imagery everywhere that the true creator sees the faces only. The true creator doesn't have no image of these bodies to any of the species or creatures that I'm talking about: the feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. In fact, I don't see any evidence that the true creator even thinks of them in the same way that the false creator/creator does, or the false creator/creator's build, this bio build. It was a totally added idea. He stole the electrical components of the idea. He divided everything in order to keep the biosystem safe and built a biosystem: feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. So for all the other creatures that come into play, go look at the imagery for a little while. Go look at it everywhere. It doesn't take long before you start realizing, you say, holy shit. So then we're talking about elephants, things that are easy to pick out of the imagery, right? Like I was saying about flowers, or even looking into trees. Why don't you see trees in the imagery that the builders are building? Why don't the builders build the imagery of even human skin? When you look into humans and human skin, you're not seeing body imagery. It's all faces, right? It's all faces: feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. So if that's the case again in human skin, then we know already, we can give the credit to the actual build, the true build of everything in here goes to the true creator, right? And I know I mixed up. I was listening to my videos back, and I'm talking about the true creator when I'm talking about the false creator, and I'm all fucked up. Just got to deal with it. It's just the way it is. So anyways, seeing how this works when I'm looking back, I was tracking back when the Native Indians were doing these rain dances. And that's when we were told that they were dancing around a small fire in order to make it rain. And my argument is that obviously not. Ancient natives of all lands knew the system and knew how it worked. And then as humans, certain human populations, divided Adam here and there, what they would do is new species would be formed by humans dividing Adam. They don't look anything like compared to the true creators, false creators, or the creators' work, ideas, or builds. They don't look like, in other words, elephants. It's too far off. And I also can break this down into two-legged and four-legged creatures as well. So, yes, four limbs, but in other words, walk on all four or walk upright. We can break this down so we know that. And then also, when we look at sea life and ocean creatures and bugs and insects and all these other different things, we can see every time that humans divided Adam, all of these other things came about. In other words, the Metellus, just like when I talk about I don't talk about the Metellus all that much, but I will again. I wanted to call out a couple of Metellus motherfuckers very soon too. But when you talk about the Metellus, it's the same thing. The false creator/creator had these carbons. That's what I now call the nanolith Metellus. The nanolith Metellus. They're smaller than nano. And these nanolith Metellus, to simplify it, are built the carbons that the builders build with. So they're the tiny little carbons that the builders use to build with. And depending on what they're building, mixed with all the other carbons. Now these carbons, these are living energies, creatures. They're living. They're not energies. They're living creatures though, because they do hold energy. They pass energy. They So to say that they're dead, they're not. It's just that they don't have legs, they don't have eyes, they don't have, internal organs. They're just little flecks of dust. That's all they are, to the human eye, because our science won't allow us to see them. Our science, what we call science and medicine, goes against me telling you what I'm telling you. Well, we can all see for ourselves that it works this way. So, anyways, when okay, thank you. So the false creator/creator used these nanolith Metellus carbons as building blocks for now the true creator's energy to build his bio builds. That's what I mean when I say false creator/creator stole the true creator's work. He's a broken away energy, an energy that broke away from the true creator's work and broke himself away, divided himself from the energy, and then kept dividing, and built himself this other system that we also live within. Thank goodness. Thank you to all of them for their, whatever they meant to do with it, here we are. So whether it was purposeful or whether they meant it, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure there'll be answers to all that later down the road. But right now, I just want to see things for what they are. I don't want to fucking guess about shit anymore. Or use imagination either. I don't want it. So in other words, then when humans came along, humans divided Adam, then we started getting the bugs. That's when we got these other bio creatures. They were not part of the false creator/creators build. It's further along than that bio build. They had no tension of it. How do I know that? Because when you go look at the fucking imagery everywhere, you're not going to see any spiders. You're not going to see ants. You're not going to see cockroaches. You're not going to see any of these bugs, any of them. You're not going to see centipedes. They should all be in there. If we're all on this earth, when I say on, it's not the spinning web pararocket ball that this guy was talking about yesterday, because that's the other thing that pisses me off. They're again ranking out flat earthers, which, okay, fine, I agree with ranking out flat earthers, because even flat earthers should be ranking themselves out. They should not go along with this psyop terminology of flat earth, but at least they had the balls to fucking, come out about the other bullshit stories of a spinning web pararocket ball. And just because you guys are physicists, you think that you're right about this shit? I mean, that's so stupid. I mean, look at it, man. So this guy yesterday, I'll rank on him more when I learn his name, but You know, he's talking about the sun and how we learned about the sun. We didn't fucking learn about nothing, man. We learned a bunch of fucking lies. That's what we learned. And then we learned to repeat those lies, and then we call them truth. And we say that they're truth. No. You didn't fucking know. Nobody went in a fucking rocket and went up to the moon, and you took a piece of the fucking moon and brought it back. No, none of that bullshit stories happened. So you guys have only had a very short time, a couple hundred years of selling that story. You know, I always get the timelines wrong too. I said this before, and someone was ranking me out about it. So whenever Galileo existed, when was Galileo around? 1100s or something? I don't know. But anyways, whenever Galileo was around, that's when they really started going big on it. You know, they built that telescope. And then started making up stories. Well, you don't even need a fucking telescope. I can see everything that I can show you guys in my telescope. I can now see with my eyes, you know, within reason. So in other words, all the large images that are in the full moon and everything, I can see with my eyes. You don't need their shit no more. All right, back to what I was saying. What am I at for minutes? I'm gonna have to pull over and find them. I don't know what I got for minutes on this thing. So I was talking about yesterday about the sound resonance. The sound resonance from the crickets, comparing the crickets and the birds as a bio version of controlling sound resonance and influencing the current. Okay? Because there is a natural current. There is a natural current that happens. So now if you're adding all the carbons, let's say, out of jets, right? So now, in other words, we suck all the false creators / creators. Can't say that it's theirs. I would say more or less it's part of the true creators build, because the rock, stone, the mountains, the earth that we walk on was part of, minus the bio aspects of it, was part of the true creators work. So in other words, the rock, the mountain, the stone, what I tried showing you guys in earlier videos, that was all part of the original build. So under this rock, stone, earth are these liquids, waters, which is what I was trying to explain in earlier videos, is where the oceans came from. The further we dug down, every time we had one of these fucking resets, it wasn't done by volcanoes. Now volcanoes, I have to give that credit to something of the false creator / false creators doing as part of his build, but he's using the ingredients from the true creator's work. I say that because the gas, the oil, the put it this way, the sulfates, all the different kinds, all the heavy metals and minerals as well, because of the rocks, the stones that are under the ground, and what the earth is built with, and all that kind of stuff. So all those carbons and all that shit that's all coming up through the volcanoes, right, as liquid lava, and then the smoke goes up into the air and the lava comes down the mountain or whatever, and all this shit, right? So all these liquids go into the atmosphere along with the carbons, and they all settle down in ash and all this. So we all know how that all works, right? So I'm trying to paint you a picture of how the false creator / creator would have done it, and then why the volcanoes have backed off as much as they have, you know, compared to ancient times. In ancient times, you know, they were right by claiming that volcanoes were controlled by the gods, right? If we're going to look at it that way, because if and it's not an if, it's just, it is this way. But the problem is that you have to go look at the system in order to see what it is I'm explaining, in order to stop thinking that the ancients were the idiots and we're all the geniuses. We're the geniuses because we have internet, we have cell phones, we have computers and televisions, and we have all this technology, we call it. We have science and medicine and all these things that we think are so fucking great. It's the opposite. It's the opposite of that. The technology was way, way better back then. The technology is still here for us to use, but no one knows how to use it. We've lost so much of our electrical selves, including our electrical connection to the true creator, right? So even that, it's all bound up. We're all fat, or we're all muscle, and we're more and more bio, and we break down our connections. The brain is totally taken over. Instead of the brain accepting and gaining memory functions and memory from natural experiences, we're immediately at birth, our heavy metals are fucked with, our brain is given false memories immediately. You're only limited on how much of your memory you're going to even be allowed to receive, even for that matter. You know, from everything from the chemicals that they dump into our bodies, the food that contains a lot of the what I call, heavy metals and minerals. I'll refrain from calling them chemicals, but they act as chemicals when they're used in the wrong way. They're doing damage that you don't want to have done. So my point to all this is that would have been the way that we would have done it as human beings when we had these takedowns. What I want to call resets, even. Let's see what this thing's out for time. Shit, I can't see it. 36 minutes. Alright. Oops, sorry, buddy. Let me get this way here. Alright, so I'm trying to just compare some of these things to getting rid of it as we go back in time, because people have a hard time getting their mind around how did we control these things thousands of years ago, if that's the claim. And that is my claim, and I have evidence for it, and I'm trying to show you the evidence. Because you're not looking, I have to give you more evidence so that you can understand this part, so that you yourselves, anybody listening, will feel that it's worth your time and aggravation to take your fucking camera, which is in your hand 24/7 anyway, and instead of aiming it at yourself or at your girlfriend or at your boyfriend or at your kids or at your meal that you're eating, aim it up at the fucking clouds. Start there. Second, the moon. Go to those two places, the clouds and the moon. Extract the imagery from the true creator's work, right? So you start understanding the true creator's build, and then replicate that throughout the trees, the rocks, the stones, the humans, the animals, whatever, everything, because that's the way it works. I do refrain from things that have human influence because it's just it gets too confusing for people. You have to remind them. Yeah, you start using metaphors. Yeah, it's like we live in a snow globe, or yeah, it's like we live in a hologram, or yeah, it's like we live in a matrix, or yeah, it's like we live in a spiritual realm, or yeah, it's everybody wants these metaphors that we're used to reading in our books, hearing in our music, and that kind of thing. Looks like it does look like her. Oh my god, she still looks like the same age. It's an ex-girlfriend of mine. I just drove by, and I knew her when she was in her early 20s, and she still looks like she's in her 20s. Holy shit! Oh, I'm getting fucking fat and old. Anyways, so yeah, I calmed down yesterday after hearing this dude on Lex's video start talking about the consciousness controlling the brain and feeding the brain, that kind of thing. Because he had another guy on his channel too that I was playing the week before. And he was trying to say something similar to that when they were talking about sleep. He was talking about sleep shit. And I was trying to get through to you guys. It was during my moon videos. And I was trying to get through to anybody that was listening that he's right, but he doesn't know why he's right, and he's wrong about all the other shit. But that one particular thing he's right about, and he doesn't even know why he's right. So he's talking about, and I'm trying to show you guys it's there. The answers are there. I don't even know what all the answers are, but I know that they're there. I know if everybody goes and looks, you'll see it all. It's you don't have to go through me. You don't have to wait for me to figure shit out. You can all go look. So I told you the timelines in the moon are going to mean something. It's going to be something major. And that's what it is. So when you're born, if you think of everything on an electrical aspect instead of a bio, and you think about where the moon was, what position it was in, which line was cropping what images, what a moon timeline or false creators timeline, whatever you want to call them, which timeline were we on, and where was I located on the earth at the time that I was born, and what position was the moon in, and where was the moon? Was the moon right above my head in West Springfield, Massachusetts, where I was born, or was because it was probably about, I don't know, I'm just guessing, but I'm guessing. I think I was born at like 1 in the morning, something like that. It might have been like between 1 and 3 a.m. or something like that, or somewhere around there. So anyway, 1 to 3 a.m. on that particular day, at that particular time, right? I'm born. Where the fuck was the moon at that time? In other words, what timeline was showing what imagery? It's gonna be something. It's major. It's fucking major. Maybe that's one of the things I should look at, is just do myself and see where I fall on the timeline. It'd be interesting. That's what I was saying. The psychics and the readers and the card reader, all them guys, they should all be all over this shit, man. This shit should be all you guys could talk about, because it's all the fucking evidence you ever wanted, man. It's unbelievable that everyone still ignores this shit. 5 years, it's unbelievable. So that dude was talking about it too, in a different way than yesterday's guy. And I wish I remembered everybody's names, but maybe it's better that I don't. Because then everybody just says that I'm throwing names around, or whatever they call that. Yeah, it was pretty cool, actually. Listening to him, and he's like, kept saying, he's like inches away from seeing it all, because that's what I mean by that. He knows all these scientific facts that are clouded by lies, and if we just open his fucking eyes, he would be able to relate everything that he learned. Even the lies and the falseness would even be able to be applied to the realities that's all around us. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I mean, I offer a lot of people this reality, and to watch them turn it down time and time again, it's amazing. As a matter of fact, there was one guy that came to my house. I won't say nobody's name or nothing like that. I try not to ever do that. But anyways, if you're listening, because he just subscribed to my channel a couple of weeks ago, maybe like 3-4 weeks ago when I met him, I think 3 weeks. So dude, if you're listening, right? Hopefully you are, and I hope you're looking around and stuff. But anyways, if you are, remember what I told you. There's been nobody that has come and looked that continues to look. They all run from it. Nobody, no family, no friends, no people on the internet, no crazy people, no insane people, no intelligent people, no matter what we label them, they will run. No flat earthers, no globalists, nobody, no geocentrics, and I made series to all these people, and it doesn't matter their skin color, because I've made them out nationality. It doesn't matter, because I've made Eastern Indians, Suvi, and what was her name, Sylvie, and Brother Sanchez, and Matrix Wisdom, and Matt from Quantum of Conscience, and again, all intelligent people, and nothing out of anybody. Then you got Del and Gav from Beyond the Imaginary Curve. I made a series to Santos Bonacci. A lot of little small part series and stuff like that I made too. Brian Austin Lambert, who did get back to me, but under a false character. So that don't do me no good. And he was just trying to distract me and push me in the wrong direction. So, I mean, it doesn't make any sense to work with somebody that's going to do that. You can get that anywhere. I learned some shit out of it, but no thanks to him. It was just because I was, trying to be smarter than him. But yeah, it's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. So what I was telling you on that day, you see what I'm saying, right? You see what I'm saying? Anybody that you talk to about it, you say, hey, you want to see the coolest fucking thing you ever seen in your life? You want come on outside. Bring them outside. Hold up your camera to the clouds. Yep, aim it right over there. Yep. Here, I'm gonna put this little filter on your camera. Okay, you see that? Yep. Okay, you see this one? Yep. You see this one? Okay, describe them. Well, that one looks like a lion. Yeah, that one there looks like I don't know. Is that a cow? Is that a cow or a cattle? Maybe, or something. And then you say, well, you sure it's not a feline? Does it look? Oh yeah, it does look like a cat. Okay, so a lion, a cat. What's this other one? Oh, that looks. What's that? A horse? No. Look again. Keep looking. Then you can take them in the house. You upload the video. Once you upload the video, you have them take their camera again. You said, there's the video you took. There it is, right there. That's your video. Look, now use your camera as a viewing device and look in on the video. Find that horse, which you thought was a horse.